With U.S. Olympic team trials underway and NCAA bans on 6 former men's basketball players, it has been an eventful weekend in sports. Welcome back to Penn State Sports Night. I'm Cassandra Hager alongside Piper Murray, and we're here to bring you this week's sports update. NFL's Week 11 was a week of both breakout performances and shocking setbacks. In a matchup against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers on Sunday, Buffalo Bills quarterback Josh Allen broke multiple records, now making him the only quarterback in NFL history to have at least 3 passing touchdowns, 3 rushing touchdowns, and 300-plus passing yards in a single game. He additionally has surpassed a tie previously shared by Tom Brady and Drew Brees for most games with at least 3 passing touchdowns and 1 rushing touchdown, as well as broke Cordell Stewart's record for most games with at least 3 passing touchdowns and 2 rushing touchdowns. As for setbacks, the Kansas City Chiefs lost big to the Denver Broncos. The Chiefs are now 0-5 in one-score games this season. Rookie Shedeur Sanders also made his NFL debut as quarterback for the Cleveland Browns after Dylan Gabriel was concussed. Sanders struggled to keep up with the Baltimore Ravens defense, completing only 4 of 16 passes, throwing 1 interception and being sacked twice. His inability to handle the pressure resulted in a 23-16 loss for the Browns.
In NCAA hockey this weekend, Penn State women's hockey made a statement, sweeping Syracuse with a 7-0 shutout on Friday and an 11-2 victory on Saturday, making them the only undefeated team left in the nation. Friday's win featured remarkable depth, with 7 different Nittany Lions scoring in the shutout. The momentum carried into Saturday, where offense exploded again and controlled the pace from start to finish. Offensively, Caitlin Roberts led the way, contributing multiple points over the weekend and setting the tone early in both matchups. In the net, Katie Disa stood tall on Friday, turning away every shot she faced to lock down the 7-0 shutout. Defensively, Penn State continued their season-long dominance, averaging just 14 shots per goal per game, one of the lowest in the country. Their pressure, puck possession, and balanced scoring proved to be all too much for the Orange to handle. With the sweep, the Nittany Lions remained perfect on the season and will extend their unbeaten run as they head into the next stretch of their season with significant momentum.
U.S. Olympic team trials for the 2026 Winter Games in Milano Cortina have begun, with curling being the first sport to kick off the selection process this past week. Team Peterson swept in the finals. However, this does not guarantee the United States a spot in the Games. Team Peterson will now compete against 7 other countries at the Olympic qualification event in December, in which the 2 ranks with the best records will move on to the 2026 Winter Games. Given Team Peterson's strong track record, it is likely that the team will be successful, securing a spot to compete at the Winter Games. Long track speed skating trials will take place between January 2nd and 5th in 2026. Jordan Stolz is heavily favored for the men's team due to his status as a world record holder and reigning champion in multiple events at the World Cup. For the women's team, Erin Jackson, Brittany Bowe, and Kimmy Getz are the top contenders. Many other sports do not have traditional trial competitions to determine who will compete for Team USA, but other notable qualified athletes include Alex Hall for freestyle skiing and Red Gerard for snowboarding, both previously having won a gold medal in their respective events. Team USA's rosters will be finalized and announced in early January of 2026.
A major crisis has hit men's college basketball as the NCAA has declared 6 former players permanently ineligible for allegedly fixing games or sharing insider information with bettors. The players involved said Quavius Hunter, DeQuavian Short, and Jamon Vincent from the University of New Orleans allegedly conspired to throw several games for betting payouts at Mississippi Valley State. Donovan Sanders and Alvin Stedrick are accused of providing game information to a third party. And at Arizona State, Chatton B.J. Freeman allegedly shared insider info with people placing daily fantasy bets. The NCAA says investigations found messages and calls coordinating losses, and the players gave misleading or false information to investigators. The news comes at a sensitive time as the NCAA is considering whether to allow college athletes and staff to bet on professional sports. The Division I Board of Directors has now delayed that rule change, pushing the effective date to November 22nd. The board says the delay is necessary because member schools have until November 21st to formally request that the rule be reversed. So Cassie, what's your take on this? Should collegiate athletes be able to bet on pro sports? What do you think?
That's a great question, Piper. I personally think that this issue is very loaded. It has lots of different perspectives that you could believe in. However, I would have to say no. I don't think they should be allowed to bet on pro sports. It's no secret that collegiate athletes have a greater insight than other people who aren't involved in the sports world into how these games will go, what these outcomes might look like. So I think because of their relationships with, teammates or different coaches, I think that it's very unfair that they should be allowed to bet on these sports, as it's, their relationship with this world is very different than other people who are betting on these games.
Yeah, I would agree with you, especially considering coaches, those could be their future positions. I think them betting on pro sports is just not a good idea. That's all we have for you tonight on Sports Update. For Cassie Hager, I'm Piper Murray. Thank you for watching Penn State Sports Night, and we'll see you next week.
Hey everybody, thanks for tuning into this edition of Penn State Sports Night.
For more content like this, be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel, give us a like, and follow our socials down below.
And as always, we are
Penn State Sports Night.